recognize the gentlelady from North Carolina, Ms. Ellmers, for up to 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Sausalito, my question for you is, you had outlined that there are already provisions in place that should be dealing with these issues as far as the revenue coming in, the tax burden that we may be lost. Is that's correct? That you feel they're already in place?
Yes.
And yet they're not being adhered to?
Well, that I don't know from an IRS perspective,
Okay,
whether or not they're being adhered to. I believe that a number of laws have been passed recently to allow the IRS to withhold more and more money. I would say that the recent GAO report that came out that the chairman mentioned, there were 15 cases of delinquent taxpayers that were, I guess, emphasized in that report. The IRS has gone after all 15 of them. So I can't say that it's not working.
Okay. Well, based on the information that we have, and considering that there are things that are already in place, why do it seems to be the impetus for this is to find this money, this 3% withholding, in order to help pay for that, or to find that, or to locate those monies that might not be coming in, and pretty much put that burden on all of our good tax-paying citizens because of those few that do not. If in fact those things that are already in place really don't seem to be working, why would this work? Why, in your opinion, what would make this the golden egg of finding tax revenue?
Well, I don't think this is the golden egg of finding tax revenue. And like I said, I can't say that those measures aren't working. Some of the evidence suggests that they really are. And to go back to this GAO report, I would say that that report, it is unfortunate that there are contractors who don't pay their taxes. Nobody is going to defend that. But if you read the report, it was only 5% of the contracts that were actually examined. 45% of the taxes at issue that they found owing were payroll taxes. They were non-income taxes. So will this help that? No, it will not get that entire 45% of the problem that was identified. Also, half of the delinquent taxpayers were subrecipients. And I think, in my mind, I think of a subrecipient as a subcontractor. Well, subcontractors are not subject to the withholding. It applies to the prime contractor.
To the prime contractor.
Right.
Correct.
So that's under the IRS rules. So you're not getting all of those people. So, I mean, right there, that's not getting all of the problems. There was an additional. Oh, and then the fact that the IRS is actually, it has taken enforcement actions against all 15 of the cases that it said were known really bad actors. Well, that to me suggests that the system is not broken, that we need to just focus on using the tools that we have available already rather than adding an additional tool.
Thank you. Mr. Gaffney, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you had said that if this were to be put in place today, it would cost you about 24% more to do business.
Correct.
And you would literally have to close your doors. Is that correct?
When I say that, I know it sounds like it's dramatic.
No, it is not.
It is the truth. In our business, my mother's in the office, my sisters are in the office. Yeah. When the girls are doing the accounting every day downstairs, we would actually have to come down, track down all our vendors, which on a given project could be in the hundreds, make sure that the 3% is held from the vendor, from the subcontractor, from another material supplier, and so forth and so on. And 24% is probably a low number, but I want it to be conservative. And it will put us out for the reason that there's no money to the developers today.
Right.
So in the Philadelphia area and the surrounding areas in Pennsylvania, there's no money for the developers. There's no cash flow out there. So a lot of the smaller businesses tend to go into the work that's either government, the state, local, whatever the case may be. With this 3% that goes in there, we just can't do it. Yeah. We can't do it. For the most part, right now, small businesses in my area are taking jobs for just about nothing, just to keep the money coming in so the bonding company's happy, and the banks are happy for the line of credit. If it wasn't for that, we'd be gone. With that 3% being held for whatever the period of time is, it's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, can I have one more minute I'd like to ask Mr. Frost and Mr. Murphy.
No objection. You're recognized for an additional minute.
Okay. Mr. Frost and Mr. Murphy, I just wanted to ask both of you, you know, as business owners, I believe, Mr. Murphy, you had said that basically this would, for your projected income of 2011 or your projected project, it would cost you about $100,000. Is that?
Nothing else, Mr.
I'm sorry, Mr. Frost. Did you had said that?
We would lose about $130,000 of revenue if it was in today's dollars.
Just to adhere to this.
Yes.
In your opinion, how many jobs would, if you know that that is a cost that you are not going to have to incur, can you create, would you be able to go out today and hire someone else to work under you?
It would be extremely difficult. You know, as I said, our history has been that we've been hiring people, and we've been able to do that because our cash flow has allowed us to. We would have to take loans if we were going to
Right.
hire additional people to cover their payroll until we got paid by the federal government, or the federal, state, and local government.
Sure. And Mr. Murphy, if you could answer that as well.
I agree with Mr. Frost. I'll make one comment about cash flow. Guy told me this a long time ago. It's not air, but it's pretty close to it.
Yeah.
So it's that important.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, again, and in your opinion, for both of you, you know, if we just put this off for a few months or a year, you're still going to be in the same situation because you're still going to be faced with that uncertainty, correct?
The uncertainty of it and the inevitability of it if it happens. I mean, it's not like it's going to be easier to take a year from now.
Right. Thank you so much for your testimony. I really, it's been invaluable to this situation. Thank you.